Hey guys, it's Cameron here with Emerson House Buyers. Every week I bring you tools, tactics, strategies, lessons I've learned, things that have helped me build up a sizable rental portfolio in about 2 years. Today I want to talk about my first eviction. So they say, I've heard it time and time again, if you're in the rental business, it's just a matter of time before you have an eviction. It's not if, it's when. I thought that was all nonsense, that I had a good process, that I had a great procedure, I had, certain guidelines that people had to meet before they could get into one of my properties. However, regardless of all that, which I thought was fairly strict or at least standard, I did have to file my first eviction last month. So some of the things I learned through that, your process or your procedure, your criteria to screen clients can only keep so many people out, or so many of the bad people out, or the people you don't want, who would not pay rent. So you learn and then you adjust. So I looked at, I do 3 times rent. They have to have a W-2. I have to see some pay stubs or tax returns. They have to have a favorable credit score, and they can't have any other past evictions, not ever. So this individual passed all those criteria. He met everything. The problem was some of his documentation was falsified. So how could my process or procedure make that any different, or protect me from somebody lying? So what I've done, well, I'll tell you what happened first. So I do a semi-annual inspection every 6 months. So they move in, say January 1st. On June 1st, I'll do an inspection to make sure everything's set up properly, that they're changing air filters, smoke alarms are up to date, and functioning properly. Just kind of check the property out, make sure everything's okay. When I sent the email to let them know that was happening, I got no response. Paid rent on time every month. Everything was okay. I said, my maintenance guy's trying to go over there. I'm just giving you a heads up. And then he went over, and you're allowed to go with 24 hours notice, check your lease, make sure you're within your states and cities guidelines, but I'm allowed, with all my leases, 24 hours notice I can go in. My maintenance guy went over there, was having issues getting a hold of anybody, and then finally, didn't pay rent. This was probably the 20th, I'd say, when I reached out. Then on the 1st, rent didn't come in. The 5th, rent didn't come in, and then we took the process. I sent several emails, called, text, about trying to get a hold of them. Filed the eviction, did the full process, send the notice to vacate, filed the eviction, and then went in the property, noticed that it had been vacated after I'd filed the eviction, and that it was actually turned into some sort of grow house, looked like for pot. Thankfully, most of it had been removed. They didn't destroy anything. They had just rearranged some duct work, cut some holes in drywall, dirtied the place up. It wasn't like they had destroyed the property. So that's what happened. I went through, filed the eviction with some damages in there for the property. But what can I do, or what can you do to prevent that from happening? Again, for me, or for you ever. What I'm going to do now in my new procedure is a month after they move in, I'm going to have my maintenance guy or repairman or whoever you use, whether it's yourself doing it, go out there and just check on everything to make sure that the property is up to snuff. And you can spin it like, hey, just want to make sure all the utilities are functioning properly. You know where all this stuff is. You know where the breaker box is. You know how to work everything. Do you have any questions? Just go walk the property with them, show them a couple things if need be, and really check to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again. So you kind of catch it early. I didn't catch it because it was 6 months before I went into the property. No maintenance or repair requests, nothing. I thought the property was performing perfectly. Um, it was just not to my benefit when I wanted to actually go in and look at it. So that's kind of it, guys. What can you do? Have a sound process. Is it going to protect you from everything? Absolutely not. I do have a strong position now that you will eventually have to go through an eviction. I didn't think it was going to happen for me, but I'm trying to, like I said, improve. You make a mistake, and then you look back at your process and think, how could I prevented it? And then you make an adjustment. So how could I have prevented one of my houses turning into a marijuana operation? Well, I could have went in and looked at it earlier, which is exactly what I did, or what I put in place now. Said, okay, I'm not going to go 6 months without seeing a property. If there's no maintenance repair request, I haven't heard from anybody in a while, I need to go over there. So that's now in my process. Outside of that, the whole eviction process, I'm not going to get into that, because it varies so much by state. You send a notice to vacate, then you go through with the eviction proceeding. You have to set a court date. You go to that court date. The judge gives you a ruling. As far as dates and times and what have you, I'm not going to get into that. Like I said, I don't want to get. I don't know what state you're in or what your specific laws require. I will say it's going to be about $500 to file, plus going down to the courthouse and everything. That was what it was for me. I paid somebody else to do it, and it was about $400 to $500, and that was paying somebody else. So if you do it yourself, it's probably going to be a few hundred. But yeah, it's more so of the lost rent, and then you guys have to cover that, as you know. Your bank doesn't really care if you're going through an eviction or not. But yeah, guys, what I want you to take out of this is when you make a mistake or something happens, it's not the end of the world. In our school system, our education system, they teach us don't make a mistake. That's wrong. That's bad. In business, making a mistake is a perfect opportunity to learn and improve your process so it doesn't happen again. Okay, where could I have added things or taken things out to make sure this doesn't happen again? It's kind of an interesting game you're playing, really. And yeah, I would look at it as an opportunity. When you screw something up, don't beat yourself up. Think, okay, how do I prevent this from happening again in the future? And then you step and slowly have a big process. It doesn't have to be big, but a process that works for you and your business that prevents things from happening that you don't want to happen. And that's how you grow over time. And you get better and better over time. I've learned a lot over the past couple of years, and my process is getting slowly bigger. It's not pages and pages, but it's just things that we want to look for, ways I want to check to prevent things from like this, your house turning into a grow operation happening. So hope this was useful, guys. If it was, let me know. If it wasn't, let me know. If you found it valuable, share it with somebody. Let them glean some of the value from it that you did. And guys, I'll see you next week. Appreciate it.